And welcome to episode 1 of The Collector's Corner, brought to you by the Washington Arms Collectors. This episode is called Girls, Guns, and the Licorice King. Now, girls. The girl we're talking about is this unusually large woman. No, she's not actually as tall as Chewbacca. She's standing on a wooden crate. This is Catherine Delman Shaw, and she's going to the mall today. What store? She's going to the Army-Navy Cooperative Society Limited store in London on Victoria Street. Now, is she going to stop at the perfume counter? Possibly, but we do know from official records she went to the second floor in Department 8. You see, she had with her her gun license. And she was shopping for a concealable weapon. Now, did she take a look at the space-age Buck Rogers-like Webley Fosbury? No. She wanted something more retro. She took a look at the Webley No. 2. Now, the Webley No. 2, when you see this, you might say, aha, I'm familiar with this. It's the Bulldog. Well, a Bulldog is something that is over .40 caliber. This is only .38, and we have it in a oak period case, which includes all the accessories. We've got the turn screw, we have the cleaning rod, and we also have something very interesting. It is the passbook to the Army-Navy Society Cooperative store, and it's a bit like an REI card. It gets you the discount. You see, the Army-Navy Cooperative store was founded to provide goods at discount prices to Army officers and their spouses. So that's the gun. I'd like to give you a look at the gun shooting, so I'm going to run some film here of me firing the gun.
Well, we did hit the target.
Now, I said girls, guns. What about the Licorice King? Well, here's the Licorice King, and it is none other than Colonel John Reginald Shaw. He was educated at Eton and Cambridge. He was called to practice law at the Inner Temple. He was a barrister, but he was also the Licorice King. You see, he was the mayor of Pomfret. And Pomfret, most people say Pontefract, Pomfret developed licorice in the 1600s. Black gold was coal, but there was the other type of black coal, which was licorice. Now, Mrs. Catherine Delman Shaw was the second wife, the so-called trophy wife of Colonel Shaw. At one time, his estate was worth $180 million in our money. By the time Mrs. Shaw, who was in her 20s and the colonel was in his 40s, finished with him, and he died peacefully in a hotel room, the colonel's estate was worth only $30 million. Those personal trainers for her racehorses were really rather expensive. Now, Mrs. Shaw, however, lived to a ripe old age, and here she's seen with the local vicar at a church charity auction. It seems that the Webley's No. 2 kept her safe as her concealed weapon. We hope you've enjoyed this first episode of Collector's Corner. Stay tuned for further episodes, and until then, keep your powder dry, your money ready, and both eyeballs skinned for those unique historical items or bargains you might find on the tables of the Washington Arms Collectors. Thank you.